What is going on, beautiful people? My name is BetSam. This is going to be UFC Noche, full card breakdown, predictions, and more. In the main event, we do have Jean Silva taking on Diego Lopez, an absolute pivotal matchup that is taking place in the featherweight division. That is some very real title implications, especially if Jean Silva was to go out there and get it done. But before we bust into the main event, I'm going to start my way at the bottom of the card. There will be timestamps, okay? There will be timestamps. Chill out. You can check those out. They'll be in the link in the description here. You can just click through the bottom of the video as well. First fight of the night, Rodrigo Cezinando taking on Daniil Donchenko, Brazil versus Ukraine. This is a banger. These are the Ultimate Fighter finale matchups for the welterweight division. This fight was supposed to take place. Apparently somebody was injured. Can't have been that injured. It's only been a few weeks. Here we are, fast forward. We have Rodrigo Cezinando and Donchenko. I'm taking this matchup at face value. You know, you've got to look at it and just go, well, we're assuming that both gentlemen are healthy, you know, and I've seen both of these gentlemen fight on The Ultimate Fighter. I was more impressed with the way that Daniil handled his opponents than I was with Rodrigo Cezinando, so I have to pick him. However, it is a low confidence pick, and there's probably not going to be a bet from me. Should be a fun matchup, and I do believe if there's a finish as well, that it's more likely to be a KO on the Daniil Donchenko side. If Rodrigo Cezinando is going to get a victory, I do believe it's going to be with control and racking up using the grappling. Let's move on to the next matchup, guys. We have a few matchups to get through. We got Montserrat Rendon taking on Alice Pereira, and you won't recognize Alice Pereira because she's new. You know, Alice Pereira is a 19-year-old, 5-0, undefeated Brazilian. She's big for the weight class, and the reality is she's beaten absolute nobodies. You try to watch tape on this girl, either you can't find it or you watch the fight, and then you look through the records, you look at the opponent. It's very clear that she's in there against tin cans. I mean, she's beaten on tin cans, looks good while doing it. It doesn't even look that good in some matchups. On the other hand, you know, we got Montserrat Rendon, her grappling base that is proven. I have to lean towards the auntie, the 36-year-old dog that is Montserrat Rendon, because, you know, we know she has grappling that can be utilized at a high level. As far as Alice Pereira, I don't know anything. You know, I really don't know that she can beat anybody of any kind of consequential level. So even though Montserrat's old and she was never that good to begin with, I'm going to lean the dog here, and I really don't understand the line being the way it is, considering you can't find any credible tape to show you that Alice Pereira is going to be any good inside of this division. So it's going to be Montserrat Rendon, low confidence pick once again. And then we have Alessandro Costa taking on Eldon Correa. And in this matchup here, you know, Eldon Correa, he is a 10-3 prospect that has shown decent skills in both of his striking and grappling. He has folded to significantly lesser competition than the likes of the UFC's battle-tested Alessandro Costa. I mean, Costa can work the low kick. He has very clean boxing. He is defensively responsible, and he is very powerful. He is stacked out at 5'4". While he is short, he is compact. I like him inside the distance here, and I believe there will be an official target on him as well. Let's move up to another matchup here, guys. We are flying through these. We have Zachary Reese taking on Cedricus Dumas, Cedric Dumar, the dumbass. This guy just cannot stay out of the tabloids, and it's for all of the wrong reasons. Cedric Dumar is constantly getting arrested. He's failing to get to where he's supposed to be fighting, all the rest of it. This guy's life is a fucking mess. And to top it all off, he's just posted that he's absolute flat broke poor. I think he's got like $13 to his name. Well, I hope that his show money's pretty good, because he's not going to get that win bonus. You know, Dumas is a convicted felon. He's a quitter, and he's not that good to begin with. I hope that, you know, Zach Reese is able to guide his right hand by the power of God to this man's chin and sleep him for his crimes to us, the viewers, both outside and inside the octagon. He has been an ultimate disappointment ever since his Dana White's Contender Series. So give me Zach Reese to win this fight inside the distance. Let's go. Then we have Jesus Aguilar taking on Luis Garul. This is a matchup where Luis Garul, I kind of thought he might be decent. And then I watched him against Odell Osborne, and I thought, oh, this guy's actually kind of trash. Luis Garul, he looked good, and he looked like he had decent pressure against nobodies. His best win probably against Nick Piccinini, where he was able to stuff the grappling and ultimately take over in that fight late. But against Jesus Aguilar here, I've seen Jesus Aguilar show one-punch knockout power. I've seen Jesus Aguilar be able to catch guillotines on people, you know, at any point throughout the fight. So I'm going to lean towards the dog here. I think that Jesus Aguilar, he has the skills to come up with the goods here. And, you know, saying he's undersized isn't exactly the truth here against Luis Garul, who's only 5'5" and has a very small reach advantage. So Jesus Aguilar to land some bombs here against Luis Garul, who has a slight reach advantage. I'm going to take Jesus Aguilar. I'm taking the dog here, and you know what? He's my official underdog opportunity as well. So give me Jesus Aguilar. I've met this gentleman, so there's a slight bias here. I met him at UFC 305 at the after party for Dricus Duplessis, and he was a great dude. I went up to him. I tried to talk to him about his performance, and I said, I was picking him in his match up there against the local, and all he said to me was, you smoke weed? And so, yeah, we hung out, and Jesus Aguilar's a cool dude, man. I hope he gets it done here against Luis Garul, official underdog pick. Then we have Tatiana Suarez against Amanda Lemos. This is another fighter that, I've witnessed in person. I went to see Weili Zhang go fight toe-to-toe against Tatiana Suarez, and Weili Zhang was my official underdog opportunity there, and she showed levels to Tatiana Suarez, who a lot of people were telling me her grappling was next level and Weili wouldn't be able to contend. Well, she sure put a stop to that nonsense. Now, in this matchup here, I actually think that last performance might be exactly what Tatiana Suarez needs. So while the odds for this are atrocious, and Tatiana Suarez is about a 5-1 favorite at the time of recording, I do think she gets it done here against Amanda Lemos. I'm not backing her at that price. Don't get me wrong. I'm not going to sit here and say there's hella value on here, but the pick is going to be Tatiana Suarez due to Amanda Lemos showing us time and time again that she has grappling deficiencies. And while she looked a little bit shirred up against her last opponent, it's not going to matter here. I think Tatiana Suarez is going to be able to do whatever she wants. I think she's going to take her down at will. And I think that there's actually value on the Tatiana Suarez by submission. So that's going to be the official prediction. Give me Tatiana Suarez to win by submission against Amanda Lemos. Then we have Claudio Puelles, the Prince of Peru, taking on Joaquim Silva. This is a 36-year-old uncle who is in phenomenal shape. I mean, look at that. Look at those abs on Joaquim Silva here. This dude, despite being old, is still in fucking fantastic shape. Claudio Puelles is coming off a couple of disgusting performances. That being said, I'm still picking him here. He's younger. He has a grappling upside. He's saying that he's doing all the right things outside of there, and that the Dan Hooker loss really made him ashamed, more or less, of his performance. And he's gone back there, and he's battled through some tough mental adversity, and he's a newly reformed fighter. I'm going to take him at his word here. He was a slight dog. Now it's about to pick him. I'm going to take Claudio Puelles as a pick him here to defeat Joaquim Silva by utilizing his grappling, and I think he also gets it done via submission. Then we got Jose Daniel Medina taking on Dusko Todorovic. And, I went into this matchup thinking, Jose Medina, he's kind of bad, but, he also has toughness and all the rest of it. And then I watched Dusko Todorovic against Zachary Reese. And then I was like, you know what? Dusko's got this. Dusko should be able to just take Jose Medina down at will and just work him. And if that's the game plan here, he should be safe. Because Dusko Todorovic, while he has been chinned and he has been beaten by, tougher competition, I don't think Jose Medina hits the way that a lot of those other fighters do. I don't think that he's going to be able to, manhandle him like some of the others do. I think Dusko Todorovic is going to be the better athlete here. I think he's going to be the more skilled fighter. And I think that Jose Daniel Medina really should have never got signed to the UFC. He's been signed to take a beating, and I think he takes another beating here. Give me Dusko Todorovic to win this. I'm going to say by decision, because Jose Medina is tough. I really do think that this could go long. Then we have Alexander Hernandez taking on Diego Ferreira. Guys, Hernandez, I'm going to take the glasses off for this one. Alexander Hernandez kind of clapped my cheeks, you know what I'm saying? Because I had Chase Hooper, and I had Chase Hooper in a big way. And, he showed me that I was just flat out wrong. I was flat out wrong about him, and I was flat out wrong about Chase Hooper, because Chase Hooper just did dumb shit, and Alexander Hernandez did what he needed to do. He made light work of him. While I do question the stoppage, I think that it could have gone a little bit longer. The side clearly was Alexander Hernandez. It wasn't exactly like the fight wasn't going his way and he just kind of dropped him. He was in the driver's seat when the finish came about. So I'm going to say Alexander Hernandez, proved me wrong. And he might do it here again, because I'm going to side ever so slightly with Diego Ferreira. I think that Diego Ferreira is a fucking savage, man. And unless Hernandez one-shots him, I like Diego Ferreira to be able to take over in the second and third by just dogging it out. We've seen Hernandez slow down. He's a good athlete, but he does slow down. I think Diego Ferreira, when they slow down to the same speed, could take over here. So I like him as a slight underdog. Then we have Santiago Luna taking on Quang Bang Lee. And this guy, Santiago Luna, has been smashing cans. This guy's been can crushing beyond belief. However, unlike the Ellis Pereira, I do see potential in him. When I see him fight, I see the raw talent there. I see his vicious fighting nature. So in this matchup here against Quang Lee, I am going to side with Santiago Luna. I think that this guy, could be a star in the making. I think that he is incredibly active, and when I mean that, I mean when he's in there, he is just full noise. He's going at you. In the grappling, he's constantly looking to excel to the next position. He's looking to land ground and pound. When he's on the feet, he's looking to throw bombs. He will take one to give one. It's not an easy matchup here for him. And as a debut, it doesn't really get easy when you're in the UFC, especially in one of these talent-rich divisions like the Bantamweight division. So Santiago Luna here, slight lean against Quang Lee, and the price is kind of appropriate as well. So give me Luna to make good on his debut and gas the people up as well. Then we have fat Kelvin Gastelum taking on Dustin Schultz. And listen, all jokes aside, he's 5'9" at middleweight. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? I have no idea. Well, why can Kelvin Gastelum not make why can he not make welterweight? What is going on in Kelvin Gastelum's life that he just can't put down a taco? I don't know. 5'9", middleweight, makes no sense to me. That being said, he's probably the better fighter here against Dustin Schultz. You know, we've seen the footwork, the striking from Kelvin Gastelum. Dustin Schultz can be a little bit slow. Slow is the word I'm going to use here, but he can be a little bit flat-footed, a little bit defensively irresponsible and hittable, and his chin has showed concerns as well in the past. Kelvin Gastelum should be able to win this fight. The fact of the matter is, though, I don't like him up here at middleweight, so I'm going to pick Dustin Schultz. And you can tell me I'm wrong. That's fine. I'm not saying I'm betting on it, but I'm picking Dustin Schultz here. I know that Kelvin Gastelum's the better fighter, but how many times this dude got to shit the bed before people are going to stop believing in him? So give me Dustin Schultz to win this by Kelvin missing weight from eating too many tacos. Excuse me. Then we have Rafa Garcia taking on Jared Flash Gordon. I got to put these glasses back on, guys. We got Jared Flash Gordon, and this is the start of the Slam of the Week. You know, Leg 1, Jared Gordon against Rafa Garcia. The reality is, both of these fighters have been workhorses who have never got the credit that they deserve, except Jared Gordon, I do believe, is the better workhorse. I believe he's a little bit more dangerous. I believe that he's a little bit more durable. I believe that he is better at getting on top of people and ground them, pounding them out. I believe that his hips are better to stop takedowns. So give me Jared Gordon. I think he's going to make good here as the favorite. And I think he might even find a round 2 or 3 finish on Rafa Garcia. I lean more towards the decision, but don't be surprised, man, if Jared Gordon, chins Rafa Garcia in rounds 2 or 3, just with those little dirty boxing combinations he gets when people are in close on him. And we have Rob Font taking on David Martinez. David Martinez, man, he's young. He's a young gun. He's hungry. He's ready to get in here. Font has the edge in experience. He has the edge in reach. I'm taking David Martinez. I don't give a damn. This man is a doctor by day, a bit of a murderer by night. David Martinez is going to come out here. He's going to have that Mexican blood flowing through his He's flowing through his veins. That's it. Flowing. He's the doctor, not me, clearly. David Martinez going to have that Mexican blood flowing through his veins as he charges out here on UFC Noche. And don't come at me in the comments. I know it's not in Mexico. It's still a Mexican-themed event. I think it's gonna be war. But I think that David Martinez is going to be a little bit faster and he's going to hit a little bit harder. Plus, I don't like Rob Font. So we're going to move on. David Martinez is the pick. Probably no bet. Main event time. We have Diego Lopez taking on Jean Silva. Guys, Jean Silva is different, man. This ain't just the average fighting nerd. This is Jean Silva. This is Lord Jean Silva. This guy is being talked about as the next featherweight champion. He's the uncrowned featherweight champion for a lot of people. They think that he's going to rise through the ranks. And Diego Lopez just showed that he can fall short when it comes to greatness. And this is another leap of greatness. If he can defeat Jean Silva here, it is by far his greatest win to date. You can say the same here for Jean Silva against Diego Lopez. It's not exactly like his resume has been star-studded as well, but the way that he's gone out there and disemboweled, and just manhandled his competition, I expect him to do the same here. Diego Lopez to walk onto something. Give me Jean Silva to win this fight by knockout. Official prediction, round 1 or 2. I think he gets it done within the first 2 rounds. Guys, that is going to be the predictions, done and dusted. Thank you for watching. Sorry we got it out late again. It is what it is. You can complain to me in the comments. If you want to sign up and see my official targets, wewantpicks.com/BetSam. For all my bets and many other tools, code BetSam for 10% off. And don't forget, it's not just me. You get Adam's articles, you get Jacob's picks, you get Angelo's bets. Sign up today or regret it tomorrow. I'll see you all at the cash counter.